G'day and welcome to another episode. My name is Daethstro, the Aussie Geek, and today we are looking at Modfans Blue Ruller, aka their roller. And honestly, I can never quite remember whether this is meant to be animation model or it's supposed to be toy model, and I will point out why in a minute. Because honestly, the G1 toy was blue, but at the same time, I remember the animation being blue. But I'll get to also an alternative in a second. So here is Modfans' first release, as far as I am aware. He does look good. I did originally see the grey version. I thought, yeah, I'll get the grey version, and then I saw this, and I'm like, holy shit, this guy looks 100 times better. Yes, he is still. It's still the same figure. It's a different color, another paint job. So it is what it is, but I just think the blue pops more. I know there's a greeny one coming as well, and I did remember Googling somewhere that there was a robot mode in one of the comics, maybe IDW, but I didn't really look much further than that. So, yeah, I'm not quite sure. I'm just trying to keep it focused. I swear my phone is having trouble focusing nowadays. So here he is, and he does look good. I was excited, thinking, oh yeah, we finally get a robot roller. Not that Roller really needs a robot mode, but it is nice. And there is one thing, and I don't know why I'm having trouble keeping focus on it. Stay on there. Is you may notice the one thing I haven't done is I haven't put an Autobot insignia on him. And that's simply because I'm not sure where I want to put it. I could put it up here or down here or here somewhere. But honestly, I just like the way it looks, so I'm not going to actually bother with the insignia. So, yeah, it's not too bad. I admit he is smaller than I thought he was going to be, which says something, but that's just me. I thought he was going to be like a bit taller. But he's a decent size. He's, Deluxe, Shy Voyager. He's definitely not a Legend, but he's probably about a Deluxe, give or take. Whatever that is worth nowadays. So, as you can see, all details on the back and whatnot. These I had to turn around outside the box because these were around the wrong way. But apart from that, I didn't really have any troubles. He does come with some accessories, and one's more for vehicle mode, but you do get instructions. You get this big old hose, and you get two guns, these two here, and these can plug in together. You want this at the back, this at the front, and it sort of does make a makeshift ion blaster, laser rifle, whichever you want to call Prime's gun. I haven't tried him actually holding it together because there's a little bit of butterfly, but probably not really enough to actually be able to hold it that way properly, but you can separate it, and it's just slide in the hand. No masterpiece style tabs or anything. It's just, classic chug hands, slide the thing in there, and voila, he's armed up. You can put these together in a minute. I did try to have one of these on the back so it looked like he was holding this, but because of the stiffness of the plastic, which I'm not too worried about, that's the wrong word, concerned, whatever the word is. Basically, I tried doing it sort of like a Ghostbusters thing, and this is too stiff, so it sort of caused its own trouble. But you can plug one back here if you want, and that will be used for later. So we'll just get Ruby guns for the time being, and we will do articulation, and then we can get down to size and the rest of it. So head does go on a full 360, goes up a little bit, doesn't really go down because of his chin. Arms can do a full 360, they go out this far. I'm just looking at that transformation joint. You probably can get it up further, but you're going to have to start transforming your shoulder a little bit. But even then, that's actually getting in the way, so you don't really get a lot out. It's about that far. We have bicep rotation, upper bicep. We have double jointed elbow. That's more for transformation, but you do have that. You do have, unintentionally, a wrist wiggle. You have wrist rotation, nothing in the fingers. It's cup holder. I wouldn't call it typewriter, but cup holder is what I'm going to actually call that. He does have side to side, and I think he's got a little bit of an ab crunch. Not much. Yeah, it sort of goes back and forwards. Doesn't go a lot. Nothing down here detaches. So he does have a little bit of an ab crunch. You can flip these up and pull these back. I'll just lift his arm out of the way. Can go out that far. Can go forward that far. Can go back that far. Thank God, a figure that can actually kick backwards. We have hip rotation. We have nothing at the mid-thigh. We do have a ratcheted knee that gets you this far. Although be careful of these. So really just pull them out just a little bit. You can pull that forward if you have a use for it. You have a slight ankle articulation. You have toe. And a little bit of wiggle for the ankle if you want to use that for that as well. You do also get sort of a, not really slide up and down, but sort of a forward and a little bit of a butterfly if you can find a use for it. Go nuts. So get him all fixed up. Like so. Alright, so just put these guns and the plastic away. And of course, first size comparison, the big important one as far as I'm concerned, how he looks with MP10. And I know that the law says, at least the G1 law says, that he is a component of Optimus Prime, but I like to think of the idea of that Ruller is his, I don't know, what would you call it? Stepson sort of thing. Basically, he's a parent figure to Ruller. Yeah, take that for what it's worth. So now let's get down to transformation. He isn't too bad. Honestly, after the Vans toys I've been having, this is quite nice. So it's been a couple of weeks since I've got this guy, so here's hoping I can remember how this transforms. Alright, first things first, you're going to flip this panel down and rotate the hands all the way in and close. Same on the other side. Down, in, and close. We then can flip this piece up on the side. And this is going to come up. We also want to get this piece up, which is what we were trying to get before. It's just a matter of trying to figure out somewhere to put your finger. There we go. Flip that up. I flipped out the tire for the time being. But this is going to come up, and this is just going to wrap around that for now. Then this is going to come up, and there is a tab here going to this port. So just fiddle with the elbow until you've got it. All right, other side. So try to get that piece up first. All right, we'll try to get this out first. Flip, flip, out, and find somewhere to put your finger. There we go. Flip this up, flip this around, and flip this, and that'll tab in. Rightio, so far so good. Now you're going to want to wiggle this backpack out. It will be rather stiff the first time. We want to fold the chest piece down. So just pull out and down. So basically it becomes his belly. Head's fine. We want to get these pieces up. So it just tabs in here and just flip that over and straight up. And do the same on the other side. Yeah, straighten all that up. We can, how are we going to do this? I was going to say we need to get these flaps down too, but try to pull that forward. There we go. Just pull that forward a bit. Flip this down. Pull that down. Flip this up. Flip that down. All right. So we're going to bring these up. So there's a hinge. There's sort of a hinge here, and that's going to slide up. But at the same time, we need to get this sort of situated against his head. It won't completely tab in, but it will sit there. Oh, I have done something wrong. Turn the wheel around because you have a port here, a tap pole here, whatever you want to call it, and just sort of you need to wiggle it up and sort of down. I'm trying to remember how this one works, because we basically have to get, yeah, it's up, isn't it? Yeah, up. So just get this piece out of the way too. So just put that in there and just bring it down. So it's sort of going up and down. So it's sort of going up and then down. So rotate it over. So up, over, and down. And they can peg into here. Right, so we have this piece here. Can be a little tricky, but I think I've come up with a slight solution how to do this. But basically, you have this port here. It's going to go over this tab. So get that lined up and nice and flat. And do the same on the other side. Be a tiny bit fiddly, tiny bit, not major, but just a tiny bit. It's just a matter of making sure everything is lined up where it's supposed to sit. There we go. All right, so we have these little grooves. If you can see them right here. And I might have jumped the gun here. Not really. But basically we have to get this piece here and then it's going to come over. So there's, where is it? There should be, where did you go? Oh, here we go. So there's these little pieces on the side here. If you can see them. See if I can get a tool. But they're just here. Can't really see them very well with the blue. That has to slide through. So if you put them in, actually I think I did do that wrong. I did solve it and then I've just screwed myself over. So put that down first. So this is flat. And then what you want to do is you want to bring this back. You'll have to flex a little bit to get past that piece and then that can tab in. So there, just keep it at a decent angle. Come on. I had this worked out. Actually, I think it's also that tab that I'm having trouble with. Come on, I had this worked out nice and easy. But yeah, I think it's that actual piece here that's hindering me more than the actual upper tab. Stay in there. Now, why are you fighting me? I am lined up. I did have this worked out. I'll try getting both sides past first. I had this so worked out. I so had it worked out. Give me half a second. Okay, I think I got it if I can keep this focused. I don't know why I'm in so much trouble keeping focus at the moment. Maybe I need to put a solid background. Anyway, so basically what you want to do is get these past here first. Then tab them in. Now that I'm recording. So you need to keep that at the back there. Really? Trust me, it's not as difficult as it seems. There we go. I got it. No, that one didn't. I think I've got them in without realizing that I've got them in. There we go. Because the problem is that it? Yeah, because this should be sitting flush, I believe. Yeah, so the tabs aren't quite. It's these rubber bits. Honestly, trying to get them sort of angled because I don't. Oh yeah, I've got them tabbed in. Just sort of sitting underneath. I think I've got them. Let's have a quick look. Yeah, screw it. Yeah, they're in place. So it's just about getting these rubbers into the groove there. And I just zoomed it in. That was helpful. So yeah, so all good. It's not that bad, honestly. This is the first time I've really had trouble with it since I got it, so just be aware of that. So, beg my pardon, it's not that bad. All right, so we're going to flip these down. We're going to come in here, and we're going to flip this wheel out, flip this wheel out. Now, that's a bit too close, so you need to roll this forward. And I don't like doing this sort of things because I'm worried I'm going to bust the pins one day. So it is what it is. So roll that out, roll this out, and roll it forward. Just a matter of finding the comfy spot. We can tab this together. Tab it together. Might have to wait till I bend his knees a bit. You can flip the heels in. Get that all tabbed in. Make sure I'm straight because I don't think I am. I think I'm a bit squiviff. Probably got ratchets moved that I really don't need the ratchets moving. And what we're going to do is all this is going to fold back. You have these tabs here that are going to go into these ports here. So just fold that down. Try to keep everything straight. And so you can drop the headlights. And I think that's not, we're not finished yet. So we have these two here. No, not those two. Where are they? Here? I'm sure yeah, these ones are going to come forward. All right, so I might have just screwed that up. Let's see if I can do it from here. No. So let's fold those back out a little bit again. Yeah. So bring these up. Try to bring them up. Once again, I haven't had any trouble with this. There we go, up and over. So that's going to create the front seats. Oh, there's only a bit of foam. I thought it was, I chipped it. All right, then we can fold them back together and fold that up. Make sure it all stays plugged in together. Bring those down. Straighten everything up. Make sure everything's all nice. I'm literally looking at those stacks. These are brought down, and I think I've got one of my arms slightly shifted for some reason. Yeah, I think I've untabbed something somewhere. That brings in there. It goes in there. Yeah, I don't know why my arm's going all wonky. So maybe it's not tabbed in the way it's supposed to be. 1 second. Right, so I gave it a bit of a squeeze here and there, and I didn't have one of these pressed in far enough. I wish these were a little bit different spot, honestly. But there is Ruller in his vehicle mode, as we all know and love him. And of course, he's blue. He does fit in MP10's trailer, just so you know. I've got him currently locked away, so I'm not going to drag out the trailer, but take my word for it, he does fit. Because here he is with MP10's Ruller. He's a little bit bigger than the MP10 Ruller. But for the most part, he's pretty much the same, except he doesn't have this piece here. And I think it's this piece back here or something. But he looks the same, except for obviously the paint ends. paint, basically extra paint things. I don't know why my words aren't working today. But yeah, he's a little bit bigger, but he will fit in MP10's trailer. I'm pretty sure it will fit into MP44's too, but I do not have him. So take that for what's worth. And now we can bring in some accessories. So we have our guns. And what we can do is we can plug this back here. We can take, where is it? Oh yeah, put this in the back here. And we can take this piece and plug that onto there. And voila, you have at your Autobot refill station, which would be nice if this had its own port to plug into, but it just sort of sits there. And there's my example of the plastic. So it is what it is. But he does look good. Even though I don't have him displayed in this mode, he looks absolutely amazing. And as for a secondary size comparison, here he is with Windblade. So just a bit smaller than she is. And of course, we can't do it without having a look at him. Here he is with FP10. And that still looks damn good. So I'm just waiting for them to make a robot mode of his trailer, honestly. I know that, what's the name? Oh, Bomber? Apex Bomber, whatever it is. I know that's a thing for the transectors, but obviously not for G1. So yeah. All right, let's get this guy back into the robot mode. I do like this light, but it doesn't work. And I'm not quite sure why that light's there, but take that for what it's worth. That doesn't work either. All right, so what we're going to do is we're going to flip up these pieces just to make sure we have a little bit of clearance. We want to fold all this down like we did getting it into this mode. It does hold somewhat securely, so just make sure you keep those forward as you're rotating those knees down, and providing they don't want to split themselves, get those legs nice and straightened out. We then want to, you can keep these the way if you wanted, but obviously that's not part of the transformation, but these come back down and just shift down into the gap. So his shins are a bit flatter. Thank you, motorbike. We can slide this inside, and we want to roll this back. Of course, if you want, you can literally keep the wheels out. If you like that look, feel free. Go right ahead and do it. So roll that back. Come in here and try to get the heels out. Ooh. And just straighten all that up. It's always nice when you can actually get access to the heels of things by moving feet. So there we go. So his feet will be a little bit wonky. All right, so we're going to lift this piece up and lift this piece up. And then we basically want to straighten it up and just get past the plastic here. It's easier to do once it's in vehicle mode than it is putting it into robot mode. I swear I did have a method to get into that mode. There we go. So just sort of forcing them past first, but it is what it is, and you're bending plastic regardless. All right, so we can flip this up and over just to get out of the way. And what we're going to do then is we want to get the arms undone and just sort of wiggle them out as far as you can. If you have to move things to get things out of the way. And you're basically rolling it up and down. So it's sort of, you want to get it to go up a bit and get off that tab. Really? There we go. Everything wants to transform for me and before I'm actually up to that part. All right, so try to get this a little bit more reorganized. Rightio. So we're going to flip this up, flip in the side panels, providing you can find clearance for it. Come on. Like so. we can bring this back and down, and there's 2 ports that will go into the back here. And what we can do is then rotate this around and rotate this around like so. And what we want to do is we want to get these back. I'm going to have to unplug that again anyway. These got to get under here and go in there. So fold that in just a little bit, get that down, that in, then bring the backpack down. So that'll hold all that into place. Which is, like I said, was very tight the first time I did it. So take it for what it's worth. That can just sit flat there. And then we can get back to our arms. So fold them up here. We want to use the elbows and untab those. We want to squish these pieces back down, roll our wheels back. These are going to come down and on, down and on. They don't tab in anywhere. Then, of course, we come underneath here, flip out the hands. Easier said than done. There we go. That's one. And that doesn't really lock in. Like, there's a slight piece of plastic there, but it's more filling in the hole. So, down and out. You can use a tool or your gun if you need to. Get that out there, and almost done. Flip this up, so just slide that up. So that's in place. I don't think I've got it quite where it's supposed to go. Oh yeah, I do. And there we go. Honestly, I don't know if it's my eyes or it's the phone. I think it. Come on. What are you focusing on? Really, what are you focusing on? Thank you. I really do need to find an alternative to my phone because holy shit, this is starting to get on my nerves, especially doing these reviews. And I'm a little squiviff, and that could be because of how I've got my ankles. I think one's bent, one's not. Also, for some reason, one of my heels tends to not want to sit flat when the toes sit flat. But I'll fix that up in a minute. Right now he's just, uh-oh. What did I just feel? From in there, I thought I felt one of the tires pop off. Thankfully it did. Yeah. So I will fix him up in a minute so I can put him back on the display. But there we go. So if you liked this video, despite how blurry things are, like I swear it's my eyes. I've been back from here to another place, back again in 2 hours. Getting some other figures, ironically. But if you like this video, give me a thumbs up. If you didn't like this video, give me a thumbs down. I promise you it will not hurt my feelings. Subscribe, ring that bell. Let me know which one you would pick. Or do you think that secretly he's actually Optimus? Just really small. But thanks for watching, and I'll catch you later.